Lost in all the hoopla left over from the NFL draft, the Falcons officially picked up their fifth-year option on Kyle Pitts, which will pay him close to $11 million. Obviously, Pitts coming off two very underwhelming campaigns with Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and Taylor Heineke throwing him passes. Also, the injury, the torn MCL. I think a lot of people are expecting big things from Pitts. There was never ever a question that they were going to pick this up. I mean, he's the fourth overall pick, and we've also seen glimpses of potential. Now, whether he can reach that with Kirk Cousins or not, we do not know that yet, but there was no way that they could not pick up this option. It was always a foregone conclusion.
Correct. It's going to pay him around. It guarantees it, by the way. So for some, unrealistic scenario where Pitts is somehow cut, that salary is completely guaranteed. It's just under 11 million, like just under 10.9 million, fully guaranteed for next year. And I think, the expectation is for Pitts to kind of, replicate that rookie campaign where he put over 1,000 yards, Pro Bowl bid, almost broke Mike Ditka's single season rookie receiving record for a tight end. And I think, all of the, I don't want to say excuses, but they are excuses. They're valid excuses where he was catching balls from potatoes. I mean, these guys are lifelong backups. Mariota, Ridder, Heineke. These are backup caliber guys. And the MCL is a legitimate excuse where he just wasn't himself. We had a friend in Flowery Branch who said Pitts is not himself. Even before the season, I kind of didn't pay it any mind because I was like, hopefully it's just, you don't know. You haven't seen Pitts. He was clearly not himself. We saw a little bit of it till the tail end. Now, healthy, Kirk Cousins is by far the best quarterback he's had. The tail end of Matt Ryan's career, he did have some juice, but he lost a lot of that arm power. Kirk Cousins, hopefully, he's got a little bit more. Kirk Cousins' game has never been built on power, like his arm strength. You got Zach Robinson in the fold who can hopefully kind of maximize Pitts' role within the offense, and he's going to be healthy. Or the ideal thought is that he's going to be healthy. So this was always a foregone conclusion. I can't believe some people debated it. They were always going to pick it up. Hopefully, we're sitting here this time next year talking about an extension.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about health, Kirk Cousins, and the opportunity. I mean, listen, the Falcons didn't go out there. They had Rome Odunze right there waiting for them to take a pick. They could have gone out there and got another receiver in the second or third round. There was a ton of receivers out there for the taking that could have come in and been that second option. I know they're expecting Darnell Mooney, but I think the second option is Kyle Pitts right now. And you could even make the argument that he could be the first if he's looking anything like that rookie year. So I think the expectation, I mean, the Falcons told you they feel pretty good about their group of pass catchers, and a big part of that is going to be Kyle Pitts. So circumstances in that matter, the fact that he's going to be arguably the top option, if not, a 1B, and the fact that he's healthy and has a better quarterback, everything's there for him to earn that contract extension this year. And listen, we've seen the Falcons with not with AJ Terrell yet, but with Chris Lindstrom. They're not afraid to pay their guys. You go out there and earn it. They're going to keep Kyle Pitts here long term. And especially they have to feel they have a little bit of pressure to do that, because they drafted him fourth overall. If he doesn't make it to a second contract, when you had Jamar Chase sitting right there, Penei Sewell who just signed a $40 million, $30 million deal at left tackle for the Lions, Micah Parsons about to get a massive deal that might pay him close to $200 million. When you had all those guys sitting there for the takings, and you take Kyle Pitts, if he doesn't make it to the second contract, that's one of the biggest busts in NFL history, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you could argue that. And I do think that, everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to with Pitts because the talent is evident. He's healthy. All the circumstances that we all mentioned are there. And I think that no Falcons fan should be surprised. You're talking about option in terms of the offense, the 1B to Drake London's 1A, or, vice versa. I'm talking about alignment in terms of like the positional value or the position. I would not be surprised if he, assumes more of a receiver role, whereas like Charlie Warner is the inline blocking tight end and Kyle Pitts is just a glorified wide receiver. Like, I would not be surprised because we know that Zach Robinson is probably going to run a ton of 3 wide receiver sets. Your 3 wide receivers could be Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Darnell Mooney, with Charlie Warner, that offseason addition, taking the bulk of the tight end snaps.
Over or under 1,000 yards?
I don't know. Over. Let's just be optimistic.
I think he gets over.
Yeah.
He got over with Matt Ryan throwing pass. I think Kirk Cousins a little ahead of the curve. I'm going to go over 1,000 yards. Bet the over. I bet the under last year on a season total. We're going over this year, 4th year of Kyle Pitts.